on January 6th. How did they get so much data on people so fast? Because they had a geofencing system set up. It sets an electronic perimeter around a specific geographical area. Once you cross over into the perimeter, it triggers various things on your phone. They can look into your metadata, they can obtain your SMS text messages. It's not right because you have a constitutional, reasonable expectation of privacy in your person, places, and/or things.
The FBI was issuing warrants to all of the social media companies demanding to see any live videos that were taken that day. There was a lot of facial recognition software used.
The FBI raids that are happening on the January 6th protesters are unprecedented in American history. What they are doing is they are mimicking terrorist raids that we have done in the Middle East in the past 20 years.
They raided people's homes in the dark of night, terrifying families when they're ripping them out of their beds.
Doesn't matter what you did that day. You're a terrorist and we're going to treat you as such. This is the stuff of dictatorships, not the United States of America.
On Sunday, January 24th, I read a tweet on Twitter that gave me chills. Don't sleep too easy. FBI knocks come at 6 a.m. The next day, I woke up to the sound of knocking at my door. And the first thing I thought of was that tweet. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this really is happening. So I opened the door, and on the other side were about 8 or 9 FBI agents in tactical gear. I was turned around and cuffed. And the team of agents is going through my apartment and collecting my computers, my phones, while the other 2 or 3 agents are parading me through my apartment building and took me to jail. So I called Libby Albert, the executive director of Walkaway. She said, listen, there are going to be long periods of time when you're by yourself. You're going to be scared. You're not going to know what's going on. And you're going to feel like you're alone. She said, please know that we're not going to stop fighting until we get you out of there. And they took me upstairs to my cell block.
So on January 18th at 5 a.m., the FBI raided our house. We occasionally went to my parents' house. I looked on our security cameras and there was FBI and SWAT team and local police in my driveway. They kicked our door in. They took our belongings. They took all of our guns. They destroyed our house. It was very scary. Ryan immediately left and went and turned himself in. He hasn't seen his children since then.
The FBI came out to my brother's house and they questioned Matt, and I just didn't like the sound of it. I said, I'm coming up to Pennsylvania and we have to get you a lawyer. And while I was up there, Matt called and said the FBI agent called and they have additional questions. There were already 3 cars from the FBI there, 6 agents, and they arrested him in the house there. They processed him, and 3 hours later, he was released. At this point, Matt had misdemeanors, trespassing and disorderly conduct. But it was a few days later that the DOJ turned around and slapped the obstruction charge on 240 people from January 6th, and Matt was one of them.
The left is relentless. They will do everything they can to cancel conservatives. Their MO is to find out where you work, target your employer enough that they fire you. Fortunately, I work for the government. I can't get fired from that, but they won't stop.
I had lots of patients and lots of people who were attacking me personally and my practice. They were calling my office and harassing my staff and threatening them. And they also called the Sooner Mall to take away my lease.